Hello. Yeah, what's up, what's up? So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this. So, welcome to System Analysis and Design. So, this is Special Topics 1 in your curriculum. It's really that special when you're going to think about it. So, a little bit of a background. System Analysis and Design is your gateway to success with your thesis or capstone projects. Yes, programming subjects are essential, whatever path that you wish to take. But if you don't know what SAD is, system analysis and design, you're dead. So, ayan. So the first thing that we're going to discuss with this subject is the system analyst and information systems development. Today we're going to discuss what a an analyst does, and of course, the information system development or the flow of development when it comes to doing systems or yeah, those stuff. Anyway, so Mali. Ayan. So today we're going to explain system analyst role, information system development, describe the basic system development life cycle and its phases rather, explain how organizations identify IS development projects, explain the importance of linking information system to business needs, be able to create a system request, describe technical, economical, and organizational feasibility assessment, and be able to perform a feasibility analysis. So why are these important? This is like connecting the business aspects of uh, creating a system or system development, and of course the technical aspect of system development, which is programming or developing the system as well. So the system analysis and design, of course, will connect both of them. How we're going to propose you're going to propose your system to businesses. How are you going to create a business plan that is appropriate for your system? How would you explain to your investors or to your clients that your study or your system is feasible? Ganong aspeto ba? Okay, so yeah. So the person in charge with this part of development is the system analyst. So what does he do or she do, of course, and what is his or her required skills? Ayan. So the key role in the system analyst role is the key role in developing information system is to analyze the business situation, going to identify the opportunities for improvement, and designing an information system to implement the improvements. So the system analyst doesn't code, or maybe he does. Maybe he wants to do things, both things. But basically, the system analysts don't code. Yet what he does is he analyzes the business situation. He's the one meeting with clients, breaking down the needed, the needs of the client, and of course the technical aspects of the project. He will be identifying the opportunities, like for example, he's talking to the client that this system will improve your record management system. We will not have manual, but you're just going to invest $50,000 in order for us to create the system. But your ROI will be in 2 years. You will not have any discrepancies with your data. You will not have data being stolen or something like that. He will identify and determine if the system is feasible or not, or is it beneficial to the client and other stuff like that. So he will also be, as I said a while ago, he will be the one meeting with people. So he will have the interaction with an array of people, like technicals. He will be the technical specialist for the DBAs, network admins, and programmers, and then the business people, like the user managers and the steering committee, and of course others like vendors and consultants. So for example, you're going to have business solution, for example, a system that will cater the needs of a business, of an existing business. You will be in charge, if you were the system analyst, you will be in charge meeting with the managers and the users, all understand all of the parts of the business. For example, who will be using the system. So let's say you're going to create a business solution, so you're going to meet the manager, the CEO, CFO, COO, lahat niyan yan. And then you're going to meet also the users, like the secretaries, like the rank and file people. You're going to interview them, ask them what they need, what is the process of the company, and other stuff like that. And then you're going to relay it to the technical specialists. So you have the network admins, the programmers, all of those. And then you're going to share what do they need, like ganito, this is the business process. You should be able to cater those and not create another business process for them, because they're strict with their business process, and having this program should also cater their existing business process or something like that. And of course, the programmers would say their suggestions, and then you're going to rely them to the business people or the business side of the project. So basically, you're the midman. Gets ayan. So of course, you have the others like the suppliers, vendors, consultant, especially when you're creating like an inventory system or a POS, something to do with marketing and production. Of course, when like supplies are coming in, you're going to account it to the system, especially when there are deliveries, freights, and all of those stuff. You're going to ask the vendors or the suppliers, when do you usually bring your stocks or bring your products to to their company. Then the vendor would say, we dropped it by 12 midnight every Friday midnight, something like that. So para walang police, tsaka shabu. Ayun. So that's how you do. You should know the core of the business of your client or your of your client or if you're proposing a project, you should know by heart or by core the business model of the organization that you're catering with. And then you're going to have a variety of specialized role. So you should be people oriented. You change the management and the analyst, then project management, and then you should also be business oriented. So this will cater the requirements analyst, and then the business analyst. And then you should also be technically oriented. So either you're gonna be an infrastructure analyst, and then generalist, therefore you are a system analyst. So do you still want to be a system analyst? Actually, it's a very fun job to have, and it pays a lot. It pays bigger than programmers, honestly. So you'd like to be a TL or team lead, senior system analyst. That's like the dream. That's that's even bigger than to be a senior programmer, because senior programmers are under a system analyst, diba? So yeah. So what do system analysts like about their work? Do you really wanna know? Okay, so you have the challenge. Of course, the number one is to have the challenge, because once a side fell down, you should be able to bring them up, especially when your technical team became crumbling, like the programmers don't understand each other, don't understand the flow of the project. Basically, it's your fault when you don't steer them to the right direction. Okay, then we have the technology. Of course, you should always be updated, because you will, as a system analyst, you will determine what does the client need. So, if you don't know anything, for example, you don't know anything about the web, you don't know anything about cloud computing or whatnot, and then you're going to propose a Windows-based application when the trend is in cloud, in web, in mobile, and then okay, you suck. No project will come to you if you keep on proposing like obsolete uh, projects, of course. And then we have next is the variety. Of course, you're going to meet a lot of people, some high people, some low people. You should always be adaptable to those circumstances, like how would you act when you meet the managers, how would you act when you meet the CEO, how would you act when you meet the rank and file employees, how would you act when you meet your team, something like that. And then of course you have the constant change. Ayan, change is inevitable in creating programs and creating a system, and there are some drastic ones that are really unavoidable. So you should be able to cope with change, like with a snap of a finger. When something is changing, you should always be capable to cope with it. Like sobrang, you should always be like a fast thinker. You should always have some solutions or plan B, plan C, plan D, and stuff like that. And of course, you should be able to be good with problem solving. Ayan. So, yeah, system analyst is a crazy job, but it's fun. It's the dream. And then you have the management's lack of Okay, so what do system analysts dislike about their work? So the management's lack of communication or recognition. So this is when like your manager or like the end one end party is crazy and he doesn't really know what he wants, and he keeps on adding revisions and revisions over and over again. That's crazy. Okay, so we have also end user mistakes and demands. Yun nga, if uh, all of a sudden, like the manager wants to change a part of his business model, and yet your team is basically basing, is the basis of the program or the system is its business model. So he wants to change, and the drastic change yon sa system. And then, of course, you have stress, pressure, burnout. Well, aren't we all? We're already stressed, facing a lot of pressure and burnout. Might as well make cash out of it, okay? And then we have the ever-changing business technology. So there are a lot of updates every now and then. As I said, when you graduate in IT after 4 years, what have you learned in programming and other technical aspects are already obsolete when you step out of school. So you need to constantly learn, read, and read, okay? And then you have what we call unrealistic deadlines, because some clients are crazy enough to set the deadline tomorrow or at 11:59 p.m., mga ganon. And yet that's like the work of a 5 days, diba? So there are a lot of people like that. So even your teachers are like that. I'm not saying me, I'm so good, char. Anyway, so preparing, oh, I'm really pushing it to be a system analyst with these slides. Pero maybe you can take it into consideration. But of course, you need this also for your thesis. So everyone would be a system analyst, not by choice then. Okay, so preparing for your career, have your working knowledge of information technology, computer programming experience and expertise, general business knowledge, problem-solving skills, interpersonal communication skills, flexibility and adaptability, character and ethics, and of course, system analysis and design skills. Okay, so enough of that, enough of the roles of a system analyst. So the first thing that you need to know when you're dealing with this is the system development life cycle, or also known as SDLC. This is a life of a system development. Duh. So all system development should walk through this perfect thing right here. So this is the overall process of system development. So how do systems get built? There are four parts of the system development life cycle, or the SDLC. So we have this as the PADI. PADI. Okay, so first is we have the planning, analysis, design, and implementation. It's always this four. Whatever methodology you're going to use in creating your system, it will always go with this four. So you have the planning, analysis, design, and implementation. So what do we mean? What do you mean by that, ma'am? So first is we have, let's see, you have the planning right here. I don't know. Yeah, you have the planning right here. Okay, so I'll move my camera. Wait lang. Oh, ta-da! Okay, so you have the planning right here. So then you are going to plan the project here. So in the planning phase, we're going to discuss it later. So just talk about the flow. After planning the project, hey, here. After planning the project, you're going to move with the analysis. So after analysis of the project, and then you will come up with the system requirements. Then you're going to proceed with the design. Then you're going to finish the system specifications. So what does the system needs, ganyan, ganyan. And then you're going to move with the implementation. Okay. Then you're going to change the obsolete system with the ongoing system planning, and then you're going to launch the new project. And so it's a cycle. Okay, so proceed. The first is the planning phase. I'm going to go back here. Yay! Okay, the first is the planning phase. So you have the project initiation. So you're going to prepare the system request and perform preliminary feasibility analysis. So you're going to set up the project, like project plan, including work plan and staffing plan. So what does this mean? We're going to discuss this more over the whole semester. So a little bit of background, because you're going to prepare system requests, of course. Kapag wala kang client, kasi if you don't have a client, you're going to propose to different companies or different businesses, organizations. Gusto nyo po ba ng system? Ganun. Especially with your thesis, since you're going to look for a client, di ba? Going to prepare a system request, and then you're going to perform preliminary feasibility analysis. So what does this mean? This is the business part of it. You're going to check if your project is feasible, but is it unnecessary gastos, unnecessary expense? When is the ROI of your system, return of investment, mga ganon. So for example, you're going to change a recording system, record management system of an organization, let's say a cooperative. Let's go cheap ones. So this cooperative is still using logbooks or manual. All forms are written, and then you're proposing them to shift to web-based, let's say web-based system, online system with cloud, all of it. Like full blast AWS, you're going to use a cloud services. Then, ayun, so maybe SaaS, PaaS, IaaS, or whatever. So that's really expensive. And it's just a cooperative. So how would you convince them to bring that lots of money to your project? Then, of course, you're going to break it down. Maybe after 3 years, so you're going to spend 500,000. You're going to spend 500,000 pesos with the initial project. Ganyan. Tapos when is the ROI? You will have this maybe in 3 years' time. You will have your ROI, and then what are the pros and cons? Of course, you're going to break it down. Like you will not have any losing data, no wear and tear of the paper, ganyan ganyan. So it's not vulnerable to change when like bura-bura. You can talk with them like more and more. We're going to discuss that further on the semester naman. So ganon, basically you're the one that is going to do those. Okay. And then, of course, you're going to set up the project. Once the project is being accepted, you're going to set up the project. What is the plan? You're going to develop this in 1 year, in 6 months, in 3 months, ganyan. Then you're going to to have the work plan, how many and staffing plan, how many programmers do you need, how many designers, how many network administration do you need, a database administrator, do you need a data analyst, something like that. So you're going to check on those. Okay. That's the planning phase. And then okay, so you have the analysis phase. So this you're going to determine the analysis strategy. You're going to study the whole business model. So you're going to study their existing system and its problems. For example, if you have the manual system, what are the problems that are usually encountered with manual system? These are wear and tear, ganyan, baha, bagyo, pag inanay, nasunog, ganyan, nawala na yung data nila. So, yon. Then you're going to collect and analyze the requirements. So you're going to develop the new system concept, and then you're going to describe the new system with analysis model. And then you're going to prepare and present your system proposal. So summarize result of the analyst phase, and then go, no-go decision made by sponsors and steering committee. So next is we have the design phase. You're going to determine the design strategy. So either you're going to build, you're going to buy, or you're going to outsource. You're going to build a project from scratch. You're going to buy an existing project or an existing template, like what they call Udo, PrestaShop, whatever, yung mga FOSS, what they call free and online software services. And then you're going to outsource. If you don't have enough programmers knowledgeable for that, are you going to outsource to a different IT company or an IT industry, or going to get some freelance IT people to help you build the project? So you're also going to design the system components, the system architecture, the interface, the UI, the database, and of course the program being used. Then you're going to assemble the design elements into the system specifications. And then you're going to present it to the steering committee, of course. So is it a go or a no-go decision before entering the final phase? Once you had the go signal, you start developing right away. And then of course you have the implementation phase. You're going to construct the system, the programming until the testing, and then you have the system installation, the user training, and then the conversion to the new system, and then of course the ongoing system support. Okay, so that is I think I'm going to end muna here. So that is the that is the SDLC. Ayun, so system development life cycle, and then you have the planning, analysis, design, and implementation. If you have questions, feel free to message me at our Discord channel, and I'll leave an activity at the LMS for you guys because I love you guys, chart. Okay, so with that, thank you for listening and hope you have a great day. Bye!